long time ago, but a little while ago, we spent some time going over weather and the weather variables and weather factors. Okay? First thing we're going to do today is review those a little bit. And then we're going to get into how to read weather maps. Okay? So first, we're going to kind of fill in the blanks as we go and see if we can do it without me giving you the answers. Okay? However, first I'm going to give it to you. What is meteorology? Okay? We discussed before how meteorology is the study of day-to-day weather. Okay? I can't remember if it was Greek or Latin, but when the kind of studying the heavens first started, they used the word meteor to refer to anything in the skies they didn't quite understand what it was. Okay? So that then developed into studying the skies in general, and then we called it meteorology. Okay? So today, meteorology is the study of day-to-day weather. Okay, here's where we're going to see what we remember. Okay? First, we're going to discuss the difference between weather and climate. Okay? For weather, someone fill in these blanks for me. Weather is defined as the condition of the air at a given blank and blank. It's instantaneous. It's what's happening right now at a given blank and blank. Reagan?
Time and place.
Very good. Time and place. Okay? The weather right now at 9 o'clock in the morning in Lewisville, Texas is cloudy and about 70 degrees. Whatever it is. Now, the weather this afternoon may be different, right? It's instantaneous. It has to do with right now in this particular place. Okay, at 9 o'clock in the morning in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the weather might not be 70 degrees and cloudy. It might be 65 and sunny. Who knows? Okay? So if weather is at a given time and place, then what is climate? Okay, let me give you an example. The weather in Florida right now is rainy and windy. Instantaneously, right now at this time, it's rainy and windy in Florida. It may not be. I'm just giving you an example. But the climate of Florida is usually sunny and hot. What's a climate then? Trinity? Very good. The typical or predictable weather of an area. Weather is the condition of air at a given time and place, but climate is typical or what you would expect. Okay? Now, sometimes climate and weather match up. Sometimes they don't. Typically, the climate of Texas is sunny and dry. Today, it's not sunny and dry. Okay? The weather is different than our typical climate sometimes. Make sense? Does that sound familiar? Oh, good. All right. Now we're going to see how much you remember about the weather factors, different variables of weather. Okay? First one. What is the weather factor talking about how hot or cold something is? If we're looking at the weather forecast and we want to know how hot or cold it's going to be, we're looking at the weather variable of, what do we think? Old back row things say no. Some of the front row things say no. Middle rows, come on, y'all. Nicholas, what do you think? Temperature. How hot or cold something is the temperature. Okay? That's the weather factor we're probably the most concerned with. How hot, how cold is it going to be? Okay? The next one we don't deal with a whole lot in Texas, but I can tell you in Florida we deal with it all the time. The amount of water vapor in the air. How much fog or steam is in the air that day? Patty? Good. This is called the relative humidity. How sticky is it going to be? Should I even bother doing my hair or just wear it in a ponytail? Honestly, serious question. The next weather factor, how much it's rained or snowed, or how much it's going to rain or snow. Caleb? Very good. Precipitation. Now, in your notes, I know we're going to talk about the four types of precipitation here in a second, but I know in your notes I gave you this, but not this. So I know it's backwards. Okay? But real quick, cover that part up with your hand. See if we can get it. What do we call liquid water falling from the sky? Reagan?
Rain.
Rain. What do we call frozen rain? Noah? Okay, like frozen little itty bitty rain.
Hail?
Okay, that's solid chunks of ice. I'll give you that. What do we call frozen rain?
No.
Snow.
Oh! That makes a lot more sense.
Don't worry, buddy, I got you. And then slushy rain, where it's kind of frozen but kind of liquidy. Kayla? Sleet. Good. Okay. Next, what do we call the weather variable that defines the compass direction from where the wind is coming? Compass direction from where the wind is coming. Ethan H., what do you think?
It's like a barometer?
No, that's a tool that we're going to go over here in a minute. But what do we call the weather variable that measures which direction the wind is blowing? Toby?
No, that's
Kayla or Hannah? That's what measures it. The variable, the thing we're measuring, is the wind direction. Okay? Is the wind blowing northeast, southwest, south, east, north, whatever it is? The next weather variable we want to know is how fast the wind is moving past an observation point. What is that called, Parker?
Wind speed.
Wind speed. Good. Is it going to be blowing 10 miles per hour? Is it going to be blowing 5 miles per hour? Is it going to blow 70 miles an hour and blow my head off? Never know. And next one, the force of air pushing in all directions. This would become especially obvious if you travel to somewhere like Colorado and went to go climb the mountains. This weather variable will be very different in two places, in like Colorado and Texas. Sometimes when storms roll in, this can also change and give you headaches or maybe make your joints hurt a little bit. Caleb? Good. Air pressure. The force of air pushing in all directions is air pressure. Okay? Air pressure on a mountain will be much less than air pressure at ground level or sea level. Okay? And then the last one, the distance you can see through the air at ground level. Depending on how clear it is outside, how far you can see. Reagan?
Visibility.
Visibility. Good. On a nice clear day here in Texas, we have great visibility. Florida, depending on how humid it is, it may or may not have good visibility.
Yeah.
The more humid it is, the more foggy and not clear it is. You can't see very far. Okay? So, here's the answers. Which I already wrote up there, but still. Good practice for us. Okay? Alright, so those are the weather variables, different factors that we want to see kind of what our weather will be like. Now we're going to review the tools that measure those factors. Okay? So, what is the instrument or the tool that measures the air pressure? These might be a little tougher. What tool measures air pressure? It ends in meter. Blah, 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 mutter. Bella? A what? Barometer. Very good. Barometer. Okay? I'll show you a picture of it here in just a minute. It might jog your memory. Next one, which tool measures the wind speed in kilometers per hour? This looks like a can with like a stick on the top and 3 cups on top. As the wind blows, it spins those cups around. The faster they spin, the higher the reading is on the can. Caleb? Ethan H? No, that measures wind direction. That is this one. A wind vane measures the wind direction, right? Which way is the rooster pointing? Northeast, northwest, south. Why there's always a rooster on them, I have no idea. Bella, what do you think? Measures wind speed. Hey, good job. Anemometer.
Dang, she got barometer and animal.
I know, she remembers these. Anemometer. Okay? And then the third one, what tool do we use to measure humidity?
This one I remember. Oh, humidity? Oh yeah, I'm good.
Landon?
9 times out of 10, this is incorrect for hydrometer.
Very close. You're one letter off. It's not hydrometer. Parker?
Hygrometer.
Hygrometer with a G. Hygrometer. Okay? Measures how much humidity or how much water vapor there is in the air.
And Landon
Okay.
even predicted that he was wrong.
He did. Very close, though. Okay? No, hold on. I'm putting the answers up there. There we go. Okay? Okay, so that's kind of our review of what we've done so far. Okay? If we look up a weather forecast, we know that we can find each of those weather variables that are measured or predicted by these tools. Okay? Now we're going to look at how to read a weather map, not only for these variables, but also to help predict what kind of weather is coming. Okay? But first, we need to learn about air pressure systems and then air fronts. Okay? Air pressure systems and air fronts. Oh, here's the tools. Here's a barometer. This is the anemometer with the cups on top that spins around. Okay? This is the hygrometer, and this is the wind vane. Again, I don't know why there's a rooster on top. Yes.
Oh, I just realized that in my lizard's tank with he's a crested gecko, and so they live in like tropical places.
So you have one of these.
I have a hygrometer because we need to measure humidity.
Yep. Got to stay wet in there. Very good. All right, reading weather maps. Air pressure systems is first. Ethan H., where are you on the floor? Okay. First kind of air pressure system is a high pressure air system. A high pressure air system. A high pressure air system is an air mass that contains denser air because the air is cooler and or drier than the surrounding air. Thus, its heavier air falls downward, like water being poured out onto the ground. Okay? Look up here real quick. This box, this is what we looked at when studying density, correct? If a box is very dense, when you drop it, what does it do? Falls down, it sinks, right? The same thing happens with high pressure air, okay? Think about it like if I had a hose that I flipped upside down, pointed downwards, and then turned the water on. What happens? All the water comes rushing out and splashes out onto the ground, correct? And spreads out, making a puddle. High pressure air systems, the air does the same thing. The high pressure air tends to fall downward and spread out, okay? So, a high pressure system brings clear or clearing weather. All the water vapor, all the fog, humidity, all the air falls downward and spreads out, which means the sky clears up, right? What creates a cloudy sky? Well, clouds, first of all. And the clouds are formed by warm air rising, cooling, and then condensating, right? Look up here. Water cycle. What forms the clouds? The warm air rising and cooling, forming precipitation, correct? Okay. If you don't have any air rising up, but you only have air falling down, then you're going to have clear skies. Does that make sense? Okay. The symbol for a high pressure air system, you're going to draw in that box, is a big blue H. If you have a blue, here's where you want to use it. Okay? If you don't, just write off to the side that it's blue, a blue color. Okay? Below the box, you have a line. I want you to write this little phrase here. High brings blue sky. That's your clue. High pressure brings blue skies. High brings blue sky. Okay? A high pressure air system brings nice clear blue skies. Yes.
Did it say clear/clean?
Clear/clearing. It may not be clear right away when you have the high pressure air system, but it will clear it up over time. Okay? So that's high pressure air system. High pressure means lots of pressure. It's heavier, it's denser, so it falls downward and clears out the skies. Everybody good if I move forward?
Yeah.
Okay, about 2 more minutes. Make sure you have the symbol in the box and the little phrase below it. High brings blue sky. Ethan H?
So I think the L is going to be red. Can I use my feet?
Sure. You are correct. The L will be red. Not for this one, the next one.
Oh, yeah.
The low pressure system will be an L. Yes.
Wait, so the next one we need to use a red?
If you have a red, sure. If you don't, just write red off the side. Not right now. Okay, next one. Low pressure air system. A low pressure system is an air mass that has less dense air. Look at this box here. This has much less stuff in the box than the last one. Look up here. Right? Much less stuff in it. Therefore, it's lighter and will float up. Okay? A low pressure air system is an air mass that has less dense air because its air is moister and or warmer. The lighter air balloons upward, like a balloon, floats up, often causing clouds or precipitation because the moist air cools as it rises. What happens when air rises with water in it? Well, the higher it gets, the more it cools, and the more condensation happens, correct? Therefore, more clouds are going to form. So, a very low pressure system means that storms are on the way. As the air floats up, it causes more and more condensation, bringing clouds and stormy weather. So, clouds begin to form, and then sometimes, in rare cases, tornadoes form when very high pressure air collides or runs into very warm, low pressure air. The symbol for low pressure air is a big red L. Okay? Representing low pressure. And the red, I want you to think about low brings red danger. The red, think about danger in the form of storm. Okay? A low pressure air system will bring storms or stormy weather. Okay? If you have a red, you can draw your L red. If not, off to the side, just write red. That way you know it's a red L. Ethan.
I think we'll get into it. But when you see like you have the low air pressure, and then you have the blue, and then you have the blue arrow pushing it like left or right. Does that mean it's like moving to the left?
I think I know what you're talking about. I think it's coming up. Having to do with air front. Okay? Give me a thumbs up when you're good to go on to air fronts. Okay, wait on just a few more. Nicholas, you have all this? Okay, Nicholas, you good now? All right. Moving on to air front. All right, I'll do the rest of it later. Air front. A front is the boundary between warmer air on one side and colder air on the other. So a front is like a mass of moving air. Okay? As it comes in, it changes temperature of the air one way or the other. A cold front is, okay, look up here real quick. Let me explain. Look up here. Stop writing. Okay. The cold front, the triangles point the direction it's moving. So this air front is moving this way. That means that this line represents the edge of the cold air. Okay? Over here is the warm air. As the cold front moves in, that air mass takes over the warmer air. Does that make sense? Okay. So it's represented by blue triangles. We're going to draw the symbol in just a second. I'll show you where to put it. The triangles point the direction the front is moving. A cold front usually brings lots of rain and high wind. Okay? As the colder air moves in, it causes weather changes such as lots of rain and high wind. So you can see on the map here, okay, which we'll do more practice with maps in a little bit, but here's a cold front and here's a cold front. That means that cold air is moving in this direction, and therefore Missouri and Illinois can expect some colder air. Lots of rain and high winds is coming their way. Here's another cold front, okay, which means Tennessee, South Carolina area, they can also expect colder air to be moving in, okay, bringing lots of rain and high winds. So, in your notes, where did I put my... Just a minute. In your notes, off to the side, here's the cold front, right? I want you to draw the actual, like an actual cold front with the triangles. If you have blue, use blue. If you don't, just off to the side somewhere, write blue. Okay? So that's the cold front. Then we'll do the same thing when we see what the warm front, occluded, and stationary fronts look like. Yes. That's because you got the one I drew last time. One thing what I did with that one. Okay. So I'll go back to the slide. There we go. Connor?
Why for the red ones do they not have like red triangles? Why do they have red
Semicircles?
Yeah.
Because well, first of all, I don't know who made this, but it helps us out actually because these represent the warm fronts. So you can think about them like little suns. But also there are some that include both warm and cold air. So you want to have different symbols representing each one.
So there's these two tiny.
That right here,
Yeah.
that stands down here. It says the triangle means a known tornado. You can't really read it from there, but that means that when this map was made, there was a tornado in this area, this area, this area, this area. Nicholas? Yes. Yes. Hannah? We're going to get to that. Good question. Sometimes. All right. The next kind of front is a warm front. Okay? This means the exact same thing as the cold front. It's just warm air moving in. Okay? So look up here. In this case, this is the edge of the warm air. Look up here. As it moves in, over here is the colder air. Okay? The warmer air kind of moves in over the colder air. So, the warm front is represented by red semicircles. Like as explained to Connor, a good way to think of it is like these are like little suns. Okay? Representing a warm front. Now, as the front approaches, they usually bring rain, but as it passes, it clears up. Okay? So if the warm front is headed your way, you can expect rain at first, and then as it passes through your area, clear skies. Things clear up pretty nicely. Okay? And once again, the semicircles point the direction that it's moving. don't forget to also draw what this looks like off to the side. If you don't have a red, just put somewhere near there that it's a red color. Okay? So on my map here, the warm front is moving up this direction. So northern Wyoming and Montana can expect warmer air. This warm front's moving this direction. This warm front's moving this direction, and this one is moving this direction. Okay? So the areas of Canada can expect warmer air. Colorado can expect a warm front coming through, etc. Connor?
Is the third bullet point on cold front? I didn't get it.
Brings,
Lots of rain and high winds.
thank you, lots of rain and high winds. Yes.
Whenever we have like really warm days in like March and April, is it usually like warm fronts where they start with rain and then they end up coming with clear skies and humid days? But since the clear skies, when it passes, does take like a really long time to pass?
I don't know. I think it depends on the front.
Like usually whenever you see it, it either rains periodically or it passes after it rains a lot and then it's like really clear skies for a couple of days.
I don't know. Okay, so here again is where you're kind of symbolizing what the warm front looks like. Okay? Two more kinds of fronts you want to look at. Two more kinds. You ready? Nicholas, you with me? Great. Okay, the next one. Okay. There we go. Occluded front. An occluded front. Okay? Sounds kind of funny, but once I explain it, it's not that bad. Okay. An occluded front is when a cold front overtakes a warm front. Okay, so look up here. Pause your writing, look up here so I can explain. Then we'll write again. So here's the warm front. As it moves through the area, a cold front is moving faster behind it and actually overtakes the warm front. Okay, so the cold air moves in faster than the warm air and kind of overtakes it, causing an occluded front. Okay, this is represented by a purple symbol, purple line, with triangles and semicircles alternating but pointing the same direction. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, an occluded front brings various weather, but usually some kind of drier air. Oh, a good way to think about it is think about a racer, right? If this person is in front of this person, but they're coming up fast, and eventually the racer kind of like takes over their spot. Okay? That's like the warm air kind of coming up on the cold air, coming up on the warm air. It's a purple line with triangles and semicircles, and it points in the direction it's moving. Okay? So on my map over here, it looks kind of pinkish, but this little itty bitty part is the only occluded front on my map. Okay? Which means there's a warm mass of air moving this direction, but the colder air is coming in the same way, just coming in faster and taking over. Okay? That means that this area is probably going to have some drier air coming in. Okay? Not quite as humid, more dry. But it could bring various kinds of weather. Landon? Seems like it. Okay? And again, make sure you draw the symbol off to the side. Okay, so I'll go back to that in a second. But if you don't have a purple, like I don't really have one readily available at the moment, you're going to do your triangles and semicircles, and then just write that it's purple off to the side. Okay? Drier air. Caleb? That's a good guess, but not quite. What do you think, Bella?
It's either gonna be a white, black, or white or black.
Good guess also, but not right. First of all, okay, next one's stationary front, right? What does the word stationary mean? Connor? Good, it's not moving. What do you think?
I think the color is actually gonna be yellow.
Good guess also, but no. It's actually both, red and blue. Okay? Stationary front, meaning it's not moving. Okay? This means the boundary between the warmer air and the colder air is not moving. Alright? Which is why the triangles point one direction and the semicircles point the other direction. Almost like a tug of war. Okay? They're not actually literally pulling on each other, but it's representing that the front's not moving one way or the other. Okay? When this happens, the air in the areas tends to kind of just hang out for a long period of time. There's no movement of air, and it usually brings many days of rain in a row. Usually brings many days of rain in a row. It's represented by a semicircle bordering one side, that's the red one, and the triangles along the opposite side, representing that the front is not moving in any direction. It's just staying there. Yes?
So, is it made of like two, a warmer and both go like
And kind of collide?
and kind of collide each other, and then they are both staying there for a while, and put in their opposite directions while staying, they're both keeping on each other.
Therefore, they're not moving? I don't know.
Can't move in any direction because opposite forces
Mm-hmm.
go equally, but I mean, they're not moving.
I mean, it sounds probable to me. I'm just not sure.
Yeah, because I'm saying it because they have the.
It's either that. It's either that, or they both kind of move into the area and then just stop moving and just sit there. No collision or anything like that. But I really don't know. I would think. Landon? Can't this cause tornadoes as well? I don't know actually. Maybe.
I was just wondering. I remember reading something like
I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. All right, let's practice this. Huh? Writing? Okay, hold on. Let's practice for a second. Okay? Name which city on this map can expect to have warmer air moving in the next few days? Which city on this map can expect to have warmer air moving in the next few days? Caleb? Why Atlanta? How do you know the warm front's going this direction? Very good. Because the semicircles are pointing this way, the warmer air is moving into the Atlanta area. Okay? Which city could be expecting cooler air in the next coming days? Connor?
St. Louis.
Why St. Louis?
Because all the and Minneapolis.
And Minneapolis. Why?
Because all the triangles are pointing in that direction and in a semicircle, a big semicircle.
Very good. So that means the front is moving in this way. Okay? Let's see. Which areas could expect to have clear skies? Clear skies. Reagan?
Maybe St. Louis.
Why St. Louis?
I'm not sure if it would be up there.
Well, before the warm front comes in, it actually brings rain. So St. Louis is gonna have rain the next couple of days, or tomorrow, whatever it is.
Would it be
But what areas have clear skies right now?
Miami?
Why Miami?
Because the one part just passed it.
Okay, you could say Miami, but there's two that I'm thinking of specifically.
And I don't know, maybe Denver and
Maybe. What do you think, Anna?
San Francisco,
Why San Francisco?
because there are no fronts.
That's true. There are no fronts facing that way. I'm thinking more having to do with the pressure system. Between high pressure or low pressure, Anna, which one will bring blue skies?
Oh, I know. Detroit.
Hold on. Which one will bring blue skies? A high pressure air system or a low pressure? Good. So on this map, which cities have high pressure air systems right now? Seattle and well, this is but in Maine, kind of southern Maine. Very good. Okay. So Seattle and South Maine can expect clear sky. Oh, in Arkansas, yeah. Okay. So they all have high pressure. Then, what kind of weather can, let's see, southern Georgia be expecting with the low pressure air system? Anna? Kind of rainy or some kind of storm. Good. Okay? All right. Now I'm going to show you this video. In the video, I'm not sure who made it, but it's actually a weatherman, an actual weatherman, and I can't remember where he lives, but his sister or relative is teaching a class on this subject. Okay? So he made a video for this woman's class about how to read weather maps and then gives them the weather of that area. Now, the school that she taught at was in Raleigh, North Carolina. Okay? So he's going to tell them how to read the map and then also explain what weather they can expect in Raleigh. Make sense? All right. You can put your notes in your note section, and I'll pull up the video.